There are only two types of people in this world. The ones who buy things that lose them money, and the ones who buy things that pay them forever. You think you need a miracle to make $90 million? You don't. You just need to own the right assets. Assets the poor never even think about. Let me break it down the rich dad style. I was 17 when I first read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. What stuck with me wasn't the advice, it was the contrast. Robert's poor dad was educated, had a stable job, and believed in saving. His rich dad barely finished school, but he owned restaurants, invested in real estate, and taught him one golden rule. Don't work for money. Let money work for you. I'm 24 today, and just before this video, I have assets that generate me over $120,000 annually. And the list of assets is still growing. Ultimately, you need to know the right places to put your money into work, else you end up slow as a snail or losing your money to uncalculated risk. Let me tell you about Kiyosaki. He never bragged, but the man was worth over $99 million in today's money. He never worked more than 4 hours after age 40 and retired at 47. His secret? He bought assets. The right assets, to be precise. When everyone else was buying liability after liability, Kiyosaki built himself a silent army that paid him every single day. And what exactly is an asset? The difference between these two definitions is exactly what's separating you from the millionaire who has $90 million. Most people define asset as anything that retains or adds value, like mansions and high-value cars. But an asset, according to Robert Kiyosaki, has to always put money into your pocket, increases your income. Not makes you look good, not makes your friends jealous. Just one job. Put money in your pocket regularly. And if you stack the right ones early, they'll build you $90 million quietly, just as it did for Robert, Oprah Winfrey, Jay-Z, a million others. Let's talk about those assets you need to buy. I have 4 here recommended, but number 1 and 3 are my favorites and most recommended by me. Asset number 1, real estate. Kiyosaki started with land and small properties, not in the city, but outskirts. Cheap plots, he said. People have an absurd way of believing that their mansion is their biggest asset. How can a home that costs you over $3,000 monthly be your greatest asset? People who are in a haste to live their dreams end up crashing 87% of the damn time. It's first a mansion and then immediately a sports car. My dear, those are your biggest liabilities, not an asset. Let me tell you the right way to make the big money in real estate. There are 2 ways I'm going to share here. The second one is the gold mine. For Robert, he built small duplexes and rented them out. But he never lived in the households he built. He said, "I don't live where money sleeps, I send it out to work." Each property was a worker. And by the time he had 30, he didn't have to lift a finger. In the long run, you need to understand it's not even about how much you bought these homes, but how much money you make from these homes monthly. It's like buying money-making machines with each having its own capacity. One machine might print you at $1,200 monthly, while another prints you $2,500 monthly, just that way. Each of these machines work tirelessly each morning, afternoon, night, daily, weekly, and all year round. So, hence, it doesn't matter how much you bought these homes, because you simply could afford them. But however, you have bought a lifetime employee. If you buy one small apartment every 2 years and reinvest the rent, you'll cross $100,000 a monthly in under 15 years. I hope you get the catch now, my friend. In reality, depending on how hard you work or how much your income is, you could buy apartments every year. In another angle, you need to know the right properties to buy, and that's why education is important, learning skills is important. Aside his bachelor's degree, Kiyosaki had comprehensive knowledge in real estate marketing, people management, and many more. On the second strategy in real estate, it is called flipping. You buy homes in distressed sale or undervalued homes. You renovate and redesign the home, then you could put it out in the market for a very higher value. Here you can buy a home for $100K, renovate with $40K, and the list for $260K. Whooping profits whenever you make a sale. That's a gold mine, my friend. You just need to discover these opportunities. This is pretty much very self-explanatory. So over to asset 2, online brands. Kiyosaki didn't write about this, but it's today's hot mind. You build a digital product or service once and it keeps paying you. Courses, niche blogs, faceless YouTube channels. Imagine making $1,000 every month from a video you made a year ago. Now do that 100 times. Remember, I preach against working for money, but making money work for you. So the idea is pay a video editor who comes up with videos weekly for you and you post them. You could still buy into online businesses and they pay you dividends monthly. Someone needs a capital to start an online business. You listen to their ideas and find the light. You invest in their business and take your % of profits after each marketing. The idea is something that pays you without you having to work or own or control it by yourself. That's the wealth. You control just money. I prefer you to use your time to think and always think. Information is an asset. If you package it right, it prints money. Asset number 3, equity in businesses. Ever noticed how the richest people rarely own 100% of one business? They own pieces of many. 90% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. So why trying to start one and own 100%? Kiyosaki taught the rich don't work for paychecks, they build systems and own pieces. You build your assets and after that, invest in a promising business. Own 30 to 35% of a startup or startups. In time, these tiny percentages stack into millions, even if you're silent in the background. If you feel rich enough already, you can as well buy a whole majority of a company which has survived the first 5 years. That's how to be smart. Asset number 4, your mind. Kiyosaki's real point wasn't about money, it was about thinking. Poor dad said, I can't afford it. Rich dad said, how can I afford it? You are your first and most powerful asset. Learning new skills, trading, branding, talking, real estate is like installing $1 million software in your head. Every hour you waste on gossip is an hour the rich are investing in tools that'll build them fortunes. Don't chase money, build the machine that prints it. So how do you build $90 million? Buy property early, not flashy ones. Build or invest in online systems. Own equity, even if it's small. Upgrade your mind daily. It won't happen overnight, but I promise if you shift your focus from looking rich to owning assets, you'll wake up one day and realize you don't need to work again because your money already works harder than you ever could. That's the rich dad way, and it's yours now. If this gave you a mindset shift, it's mandatory to subscribe. This channel's for the underdogs, the one trying to flip life from strategy, not luck. Drop a comment. What asset are you building right now? Let's build wealth like Rich Dad.